Real 16 TV. It's Cuzzo P here, back with another reaction. I'm finna hit the gym, so real quick, we finna react to Joe Rogan speaks on how the Mexican cartel profits in spite of legalization, which honestly, it's not hard to believe that they're still profiting. So screen recording starting 3, 2, 1, go. Like fentanyl, Molly, weed, whatever. Like
cartel wars that are going on right now.
Yeah, it would be,
they make their own
so
pills.
much better if Americans did not like cocaine. Maybe so would just solve half of this overnight.
Or if cocaine was legal.
The health studies that I have seen suggest that that is not the way forward.
But do you really think that it would change the consumption?
Oh, it would definitely alter the consumption. How, I don't know. This is not something I'm an expert at. But most of the people that I've seen who have done the assessments suggest that any gain in terms of law enforcement and criminal activity would be lost in terms of work days and sickness. So from a purely economic point of view, at best, it looks like it might be a wash.
So the legalization of cocaine, in your opinion, would cause more use and more problems?
Probably.
But wouldn't
Just
it
different ones.
stop all these fentanyl overdose?
Well, see, my question to that is if you legalize something, doesn't that give it the chance to the proper scientists or doctors or whoever that fuck with it to like work on it, process it differently, try to find the health benefits, the negative, like really know like how much could kill somebody, how little will kill somebody, like really know real stuff about it. I feel like the only way you can do that is if you legalize it, or at least make it legal for research at the very least, just so there's more understanding. Because I'm pretty sure, and Joe Rogan said this, that they still use Coke and Coca-Cola. Like they refine it or whatever. Like they not refine it, but they use the flavor, but they strain out the Coke basically. So it's not like they not still doing like shit with these drugs. They just not like, I don't know. They just not making it to where like there's more understanding about the substances, or if they do understand, they're not sharing it with us.
Illegalization.
See, that's the problem when you ask people why they're taking what drug. To say that if cocaine was immediately available, that they'd stop taking fentanyl, I don't know.
But they're not taking fentanyl on purpose.
No, they
you're
are.
talking about the stuff that's
They are. They definitely are.
Like cocaine, fentanyl.
Motherfuckers at first wasn't taking fentanyl on purpose, but they like fentanyl. If you want to talk about the cartel actually, and I forgot the YouTuber that said this, but the cartel started making fentanyl in pink pills so that people wouldn't accidentally run into fentanyl. So if you see anything with a pink hue, it's supposed to be laced with fentanyl. That was also on. If I knew the channel, I would say it, but it's like some white dude that went to prison, the feds, for being around the cartel.
Deaths are very high.
Well, then you're talking about a regulatory issue. And just keep in mind that whenever you move something in from an illegal to a regulatory point of view, there is a, how should we call this? And
there's that one video where he's like, I'm looking for
I live in Colorado now, which was the first state to legalize pot.
Looking for fentanyl.
And what we discovered was that, yes, you solve some problems, you bring a lot of money in for the government.
Here's my thing about that, too. Once a motherfucker realize they can take it and it won't kill them and they like the feeling, they're going to figure out how to take that shit to where it doesn't kill them and they get to still enjoy that feeling. That's just realistic.
But it has criminalized a lot of economic activity in Colorado, because think about what happened with pot. It's still controlled from a financial point of view at the federal level.
Yeah.
So banks won't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
all
like
the pot dispensaries have a walk-in safe where they keep all the cash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Federal Reserve is like, this is a theft issue. This is a security issue. We can't allow this to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to hire out a bunch of armored cars and trucks, and we're going to send these to these pot dispensaries after hours. And with armored guards, we're going to come in and we're going to take all your cash. We're going to spray a lot of Febreze on it. We're going to take it back to the Federal Reserve building. We're going to count it and give you a digital deposit. Mm. The Sinaloa cartel is like, whoa. Let me get this right. The Federal Reserve of the United States of America is now in the business of money laundering. Count us in. And so now
that's genius, because then it don't even matter if they sold the right amount of weed a day. They could just put all they gotta do is throw a couple extra bands in there a day, and now all this illegal money now looks legal as shit, and it was counted through the government, so nobody could tell them that it's illegal. That shit is fucking smart, bro. What the fuck?
They are laundering their money through the pot industry of Colorado. And it's generated just a different problem.
This is a gentleman named John Norris, and he started out his career
I ain't
as
gonna
a
lie.
game
Look,
warden, a guy who like checks fishing license.
it's not right, but sometimes you gotta be quick to like look at the strategies of whoever. Like they say, if you know the strategies of your oppressor, you'll realize that you're not that different. Like that, I'm not saying don't do what they're doing, but when a motherfucker doing some clever shit, you gotta admire. You gotta admire genius in any aspect. Like that's fucking clever. I don't give a fuck.
And stuff. And along the way, he discovered that because of the legalization of marijuana in California, they decriminalized it to the point where growing it is a misdemeanor. And so people are growing it on federal land, on state land.
Mm-hmm.
And so these state forests and federal forests in California are filled with cartels. They're growing marijuana. So he had to form a tactical unit to combat these cartels. So they're wearing tactical gear, and this guy was a game warden, and now they've got Belgian Malinois and fucking machine guns, and they're going in there and they're fighting off cartels. And he wrote this book called Hidden Wars. It's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna read that
Rarely
shit.
a silver bullet, unfortunately.
Hidden War. That's crazy. He basically saying like the motherfucking Mounties, like the dude from Curious George and shit, basically had to get yops and go out there and defend the forest from cartels because they started using forest land to grow weed in California. This shit is hype. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. Not hype in a good way, but it's like, whoa. A lot of information intake. Pretty cool.
The problem that you have when
Cool
you have
information.
illegal. I mean,
No.
this is literally what propped up organized crime during the Prohibition. This is what funded the mafia. They ran booze illegally because it was illegal.
Well,
And so criminals are going to be in charge of things that
Which is a
there's
fair
demand
argument.
for.
Once it was legal,
When there's an
no more
enormous
bootleggers.
economic incentive.
I think the mafia is a great example for why you shouldn't look for the silver bullet. Because, yes, that in the 1920s during Prohibition was one of the big reasons it got going. But the mafia didn't waste any time in diversifying, and neither of the cartels. So one of the many problems in Mexico today is that the cartels have diversified. They've gotten into cargo theft and kidnapping and avocados and limes and real estate and local government. And criminality is always going to exist. Now, the attractiveness of gutting them of some of their primary income, should we look at that? Of course. But it's not so simple as removing one and it just all stops.
Because of the limes and avocados
Right.
and all these other things.
Because, I mean, these are things that are obviously legal,
right.
but the cartels have found a way to take it over and make it their own.
But isn't that...
Okay. Which, once again, the drug shit, get it. Terrible. Hurting the community. But if they're not really trying to kill us and Mexico's attached to us, how come we don't figure out to, like, change this shit to where we fuck with Mexico harder? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we dislike them. If there's an issue, Mexico with us, but it's like, why don't we like, Mexico kind of like, it could be like more refined. Like, I get all these people are running around doing stuff, but I'm sure we could work out something, because we all the way in like Asia and stuff, making sure they together, but just underneath us, these motherfuckers is running around. Cartels have took over whole cities. The government isn't even real. You might as well go talk to them niggas about like the cartels being the new government and trying to change, because what can you do? They already own this shit, kind of. Like, what can you really do?
The problem was initially because of illegal drugs. So that's where they got their enormous resources.
Well, I
and
would
then
say
that allowed them to expand into other semi-legal or legal...
I'd say the problem was lack of rule of law, and that goes to Chicago as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we ultimately got past that is after Prohibition ended.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here, but go ahead and continue to watch my videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, and share. It was a very interesting video. The cartel, you know, they gonna always be doing their thing. I know somebody stuck in cahoots with the cartel. I don't know if he is no more, but he act like he stuck with them niggas for a lifetime. So they ain't somebody to play with. As a black person, I say we shouldn't be up underneath the cartel, like, never. But you know, some people are. So go ahead and continue to like, subscribe, and share. Continue to fuck with me. Holler at me. Bye.